Well, hello, this is Josh Nelson with the Plumbing and HVAC Online Dominance Blueprint. On this module, we're going to be talking about social media marketing for your plumbing and HVAC business. And I hope to this point you've learned a lot about how to position your company online, how to rank well in the organic listings on the Google map, how to rank well in the organic non-paid listings, and now we're going to talk about social media marketing and how you can leverage these social media tools like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest to grow your business. And, as I talk to plumbing and HVAC businesses throughout the country, and I have these conversations about internet marketing and social media, I tend to get a really puzzled look. And the question is, how in the world does all of this social media stuff apply to my business? I mean, how can I possibly use Facebook in a way that would help me grow my revenues, grow my service calls, get more repeat business? And, I'd like to try and bridge the gap on where the lowest hanging fruit for social media is in your plumbing or HVAC business by asking, what's your number one source of business today? Just stop and think, where does most of our revenue come from? And I think if you stop and you think about that for a minute, you'll quickly come to the conclusion that your number one source of revenue is repeat and referral business. So the lifeblood of any service business is your existing customers using you again and your existing customers referring you to their friends and their family. So really, social media, if harnessed correctly, gives you the ability to take that repeat and referral business, inject it with steroids, and take it to a whole nother level. So let me explain why I say that, why I feel that it's a great place for you to really connect with your customers and get more repeat and referral business. Just a couple of Facebook stats. Facebook currently has 1.6 billion users, right? The average user has 135 friends and checks in between 6 and 9 times per day. So if you can get your real customers, the ones that you've done business with recently, the ones you've done business with in the past, your sphere of influence, to connect with you on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, as they go into your social media profile and they press the like button, that gains you exposure to their 135 friends. So they press like. Now all of those 135 friends, the next time they log in, will see that they pressed that like button. It's almost as if they sent an email or they sent a text message out to all of their friends saying, hey, I used this great plumbing or HVAC business in our area, and the next time you need plumbing services, why don't you think about them? Why don't you give them a call? So it's extremely powerful in that regard to gain exposure to their sphere of influence. It also gives you the ability where they've given you permission to remain top of mind with them. The average user, like I said, checks in between 6 and 9 times per day. They look at their Facebook wall. They see what the updates are. Well, if you're posting updates to your social media profiles for those people that have pressed the like button, well, they're going to see you each time they log in. They're going to see an update. They're going to see your logo. They're going to see some special offer or promotion. And it's going to make them think, wow, subconsciously or not, that you're their guy. And the next time they need your services, who do you think they're going to call? And so it's got a much higher probability for them to use you again and refer you to their friends because they remember you. They know who you are. You've remained top of mind. And if you look at the major companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Lay's, they spend billions of dollars a year on advertising and promotion, TV, radio, print. And what's the whole thought process behind that? They're developing their brand so they can get what we call TOMA, top of mind awareness. And so leveraging social media inside your existing sphere of influence is a great way to tap into that top of mind awareness. So where should you start? Where can you start leveraging social media with all of the different social media platforms out there, all of the social media tools? What should you be using? Well, you should definitely set up a Facebook business page, and you do that at facebook.com, a Twitter profile at twitter.com, LinkedIn, YouTube. Believe it or not, YouTube is a social platform because you can post comments, you can have friends. Google+, And of course, you need to have a blog. And so in our website fundamentals and conversion fundamentals portion of this online marketing blueprint, we talk about having a blog and putting out consistent updates. Well, blogging ties very nicely to your social media strategy. So these are the social media profiles you definitely want to have set up and ready to roll in your business. So let's talk strategy before we get into the granular details. Talk about high level. How do you leverage social media? And how do you gain that initial following? Well, first of all, you want to leverage email to get initial engagement. So having an active social media profile with daily updates is not worth a hill of beans if you don't have likes, if you don't have eyeballs from people that have pressed the like button, or pressed the subscribe button, or pressed the follow button. Now, to the same point, if you have thousands of irrelevant people that have pressed like on your website or on your Facebook profile, that's not going to do much good for you either, because they're not people in your area, they're not homeowners, they're not your target market like we talked about in the marketing fundamentals. So you want to make sure you have a strategy to get your real customers in your true service area engaged with you in social media. So I like to leverage email as a great way to engage your customers to get to your social media profiles. So we take a multiple step process. The first thing you want to do is build that list, or go into your customer relationship management system if you have one, and export the name and email address of your customer population. Current customers, past customers, sphere of influence, your friends, your business partners, the people that you do business with, and put them into an email and queue up a nice little message that just says, hey, we appreciate your business, we appreciate your relationship over the years. We're getting active in social media and would love to have you engage with us. Please go to facebook.com and give them a direct link to your Facebook page and press the like button. And there's a couple things you can do. You can offer them an incentive, something of value, a coupon, a discount in order to do that. Or if you feel like you've got an active customer base that knows who you are and likes you, just ask them to do it as a favor, and you'll be able to start to build that following. Now, you don't want to stop there. You don't want to just send one email out that says, hey, we're on social media. You now want to build it as part of your process within your business. And so in the Maps Optimization Blueprint module, I talked about having an email go out after service, thanking the customer for their business and asking them to go ahead and write a review for you on one of the various online directory sites. Well, there's no reason you couldn't send a subsequent email to that says, maybe a day later, 2 days later, that says, hey, by the way, we're actively involved in social media and would love it if you would engage with us. And then give them a direct link to your social media profiles where they can press the like, subscribe, follow buttons, and start to engage with you on social media. The key is it needs to be an automated process where you're typing in your customer's name, typing in their email address, and these emails go out to everybody that you serve without any hiccups, without any potential for dropping the ball. Because if you don't do it consistently, you won't get a true following. You won't get your real customers engaging with you on these social media platforms. So that's step one. Leverage email to build that initial engagement and that following of your real customers. Remember, we want real, authentic customers, and not just throwaway likes and throwaway subscribers. So once you've got that, now you need to think about, what are you going to post, right? What kind of information are you going to put up? Well, you need to be doing it pretty consistently. I say you want to post to your social media profiles once a day, but at a minimum, once a week. Some type of update. And this should be informational posts. Should not be salesy. Should not be, here's 10% off your next service. You can do that every now and then, but most of the time, more than 80% of the time, it should just be social content. Here's a picture of a water heater that we repaired. Here's what's going on in our market. Here's a picture of us at the latest home show. So keep it informational, keep it relevant, keep it social, and then you have to engage. So social media isn't a one-way dialogue. You shouldn't be going to your social media profiles and pushing out updates that don't have any engagement. So you shouldn't just be posting. You should be posting. You should be trying to get people to reply to your posts. Hey, that was funny, or hey, that's a beautiful picture, or hey, thanks for that great tip. And then you can reply back to those comments. And then listen to what the people that like you on social media are saying. So now that you've got a following, you've got 50, 70, 100, a couple thousand people that have liked you, well, now you're going to be able to hear what they're saying as well. So they might put something that's totally relevant to you, like, hey, tomorrow's Billy's birthday. No reason that your organization couldn't reach out and say, hey, wish Billy a happy birthday for us as your company. Now they're saying, wow, this is a company that cares. This is a company that's real and authentic. And so engaging in social media is probably the lost art. Most people that do start to do social media just post one-way messages. And that's not the idea. It's a social platform, so there should be conversation. There should be dialogue. So the next thing you want to do is you want to develop your brand. And you want to make sure that you leverage the bio section on each one of these profiles. So within Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, there's the ability to have a About Us or a bio section. And there are different character limits for each. Write some interesting information. Take the About Us page on your website that talks about where you guys were founded, why you started the business, the service that you offer, and be sure to pop that into the bio section on those sites. You have the ability to put an icon on each one of these social profiles, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, and you want to make sure that you use an image that represents your business. And it can either be a headshot of the owner or it can be a logo. So I've got a couple examples up here. You've got the logo example, which is solid, right? Put the logo of your business. People recognize that logo, brand the logo. If you're a personality brand, and I've done these interviews with the multi-million-dollar plumbing businesses, and the blue-collar coach, who also runs a very successful plumbing and HVAC business in the Colorado area, he said that his is a personality brand. He's got his face on his trucks. He's got his face on his Yellow Page ads. He's got his face plastered all over his website. He even has his face on the vehicle that goes down the street. And so does Mary Jean Anderson, which is one of the largest plumbing and HVAC businesses in the San Diego market. So if you're a personality brand, it's not a bad idea to use your face, a nice headshot. That way people resonate with you. People tend to buy from people more than they buy from businesses, because a business is an anonymous entity, and an individual is somebody that they feel like they can know, like, and trust. So some bad things, don't be Shaggy. I've got a picture of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo up here. Don't put the picture of yourself in the t-shirt with the beard grown out. Be professional, represent yourself as a business, and even worse than that, a picture of yourself partying with beer or your middle finger up or doing something that's just in poor taste, not what you want to do. So stick with the ones on the left, the logo or the headshot, professionally shot, as opposed to the shaggy beard or doing something crude and lascivious. So it's really all about branding. And so you want to make sure that you're leveraging the header graphic, the image icon. If there's ability for you to customize the background, you want to make sure that you've got those elements that marry up with your overall branding for your business. So on your website, you've got a color scheme, you've got a logo, maybe you've got brochures that are made up. Make sure that there's a consistent flow, look, feel, color scheme on all of your social media profiles, website, and offline materials. So the next thing is you need to remember you still have to have a marketing plan. And so I talked about, how often are we going to post? What types of posts are we going to put out there? How are we going to engage? What social media profiles are we going to be involved with? And if we look back at the initial session that I had you listen to in the initial module, which is your online marketing fundamentals blueprint or playbook, you need to make sure that you have a clear understanding of who your customer is, what's your ideal customer, and then make sure that you're crafting a message that resonates with that customer. So you want to think about all of these things as part of your social media platform or your social media strategy. So don't just dive in. This is one of the common mistakes, is where you just set up the profiles and you start posting and there's no thought process, no plan behind it. Think a little bit. What profiles are you going to be on? What messages are you going to put out? What color scheme are you going to use? Set all of that up and then get real specific about what your target is. Is it a commercial type client? Is it a residential type client? And then set up an editorial calendar that says, okay, we're going to post daily, or we're going to post weekly, or we're going to post every other week. And then what kind of posts are we going to put out there? And so one way to split this up is to have Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you're going to put out tips. What to do when the toilet starts to back up, what to do in the event of a plumbing emergency, why you would want to consider tank versus tankless. And then maybe Tuesday and Thursday, you'll use photos. So pictures of really interesting looking plumbing fixtures, pictures of really nice bathrooms, pictures of silly things like, gummy bears coming out of a faucet, and just cute things that would be interactive. And then maybe Saturday and Sunday, you put out coupons. And I'm not saying this is the editorial calendar you should follow, but the point is you want to know and make it easy for yourself to say, okay, these are the types of posts that we're going to be putting out on these days, so it can be streamlined and it can be automated. So when we talked about the blog, and in the online, on the website fundamentals module, I talk about leveraging content, and being that content is king, you have to be creating updated information on a consistent basis. And so as you're putting out this content, it can go to various places. As you create a piece of content, it can go to your Facebook page automatically. It can go to your Twitter account automatically. It can go straight out to Pinterest if it's got a photo. And so you can take your blog content and syndicate it to create great social media content. And remember, and I talked about this a little bit in the website fundamentals module, content isn't necessarily just written. So you don't have to sit down in front of a computer and type. You are a subject matter expert at what you do. You know things that the average consumer doesn't, like what to do in the event of a plumbing emergency, why somebody would want to consider tanked versus tankless, or why somebody would want to consider trenchless sewer replacement when they're dealing with that situation. And so you can either sit down and write about that, you can take an audio recorder and record yourself talking about it, or if you're comfortable on video, you can break out the camera phone, the phone video, and shoot a video talking about, let's just use it as an example, why you would buy a tankless water heater versus a tanked water heater. And that one piece of content can serve multiple functions. The first function, obviously, you can go up to the social media, to the video websites like YouTube, Vimeo, Find.com, where you can upload interesting clips and interesting videos. You can also then take that video and have it transcribed on a service like castingwords.com, and there are various transcription services. And that video, of you talking about the benefits of tankless, now can be transcribed into text, which can go as a blog, which can then be resyndicated to your social media profiles. And another step beyond that, you can take that same audio that was on the video and turn it into an audio podcast that you can have hosted on your website. So there's a lot of things you can do to take your content and to work with the modality that you're most comfortable with. Some people like to write, some people like to talk, some people like to be on video. And so figure out what you're most comfortable with and run with that as how you create this social media content for your online marketing plan. Now remember, educational content that's published in many places gives you industry expert status. So by publishing and getting picked up in the PHCC or getting picked up in the local newspaper, you get expert status, and that's going to drive credibility, which result in more and more referrals. So I wanted to give you some examples of some good posts and some good things that you could put out on your social media profiles. Here's an example. It's a great tip for preventative maintenance. It's never flush your Kleenex tissues. The paper fiber does not disintegrate like toilet paper, and it causes clogging in your toilet. And then, of course, a link back to the website with a link shortener, aow.ly. But the point is, just a quick tip like that, once a day, keeps you top of mind and helps you to put out fresh content that's relevant. Here's an example. You wrote a post and you're using a tool, let's say like Hootsuite, and it can grab that RSS feed and automatically have that post hit your social media profile. It says latest blog update, 5 questions to ask a plumber before any repairs. And of course a link to that blog where the entire blog is posted. Here's an example of how you can do something interesting with pictures, and I don't know you can see it, but they basically have plungers that are being used as a hanger, and it says a bit of plunger ingenuity. Need extra hanger space? Grab a plunger. And so this is just the way you can use pictures. You'd be amazed. There's 200% more engagement with photos on Facebook than there are with text. So it's easier to find an interesting picture like this, post it, put together a quick little quip that makes it interesting, and you can get some great engagement from your followers on social media. Another example, don't know how to get rid of scratches in your porcelain sink? Here's what you can do. And then it's 23 tips to save time and money, and it talks about how you can seal porcelain sinks and have metal scratches and what to do when that happens. And so this is a great place just to share information, share valuable content that your consumer might find interesting and be of benefit to them. So what not to post? Sometimes knowing what not to post is more important than knowing what to post, because the natural tendency is to go to these social media profiles and just post promotional. So a coupon every single time you log in. And if you do that, before you know it, everybody that ever liked you or subscribed to you will start to disappear. They'll stop subscribing, they'll unlike you, they'll unfriend you. So you have to use the 80-20 rule for messaging and put out 80% informational, fun stuff, and only 20% should be promotional. Try and keep it business related. You don't want to get into your political and religious beliefs, because if somebody disagrees with you, you can create a negative atmosphere, and that's not what you want to do in your business profile. You got a personal profile, you want to put your religious beliefs, you want to put your political beliefs, knock yourself out. But I say try and keep that out of your business profile on social media. You don't want to necessarily put photos of your kids, even though if your personality brand you can put some of it, but don't let your kids and your family be the dominant positioning behind your business profile page. Obviously, keep your vacation photos and again your opinions and beliefs off your business page and keep it on your personal profile. So when and how to engage? Obviously we talked about asking your customers to like you on Facebook, asking your customers to leave testimonials, and then being sure that when they do like you, put a comment. Hey, thanks so much for the follow. We appreciate you following us. Or if they write you a testimonial, make sure to blow that up. Take that testimonial and say, hey, Gene, thanks so much for the positive testimonial. We appreciate your feedback. We appreciate your business. And this is what keeps us going. This is what we're in this business for. And then you can take that testimonial and put it on your website or embed it on your website through the various widgets and shortcodes that Facebook allows. So an example of a conversation here, how and when to engage. So your post is, because tankless water heaters provide hot water only when it's needed, they save up to 40% on your energy bill. And then one of your followers says, how long does it take for the water? How long do tankless water heaters last? So that's where you've got engagement. This is what you want. You want people to ask questions, then you want to be able to engage back. And you can write, typically 15 to 20 years. Have you been thinking about installing one in your home? I have, but not sure how to get started. And you can say, take a look at the tankless page on our website. Let's schedule a time to talk so I can show you all the benefits of tankless. So this is just a way to put relevant content, and if you're paying attention to your feed, if you're paying attention to what people are saying, it can turn into some great conversation. So again, you want to be active in social media. It's a great way to get repeat and referral business. You need to be on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Google+, and LinkedIn. And you want to leverage email to gain that initial following. and then post updates on a consistent basis that are informational, not sales-oriented, and engage. And if you do this consistently, if you do it right, you're gonna grow a nice following of real customers in your true service area. You're gonna remain top of mind, and it's gonna help you grow your business in terms of the lifeblood of your organization, which is repeat and referral business.